Welcome back to the Diamond K Show here on RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for joining me. Of course, we're broadcasting from the Radio on Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. A lot of things I want to dive into. A lot of things I want to check off on the list. A couple of stories that have been brewing for a minute, and I actually wanted to touch on them. So, of course, we know R. Kelly pleading not guilty, denied bond. The judge saying that he is a danger to the community, danger to young girls around the world. Of course, in his hearing, came in. They treated him like he really is a danger. He was shackled. That's a bit much, but he was shackled in an orange jumpsuit, and the whole thing, the whole thing that you would expect, right? And he will remain behind bars for the foreseeable future. Prosecutors arguing against his release, and so they actually said he's a danger to the community, especially to minor girls. This is coming directly from prosecutors. They also claim the risk of obstruction is real. The risk of obstruction is real. And of course, we've heard about obstruction of justice. We've heard about that in regards to the current president. Obstruction. What does that mean? It means interfering in the investigation. Obstruction of justice, the prevention of getting full justice. So he said that R. Kelly is a risk. So what do they mean by that? They mean that he could potentially try to witness tamper, pay off some girls. Not sure if that's something that's in his lexicon. His money is kind of funny right now, but they're thinking that he could try to intimidate. He could try to blackmail. He could try to leverage something against potential witnesses, victims, or the families of victims in his case. So that's what they are saying about the superstar R. Kelly. So they say that he has the unique ability to influence and intimidate witnesses. He's going to offer to write him a song, but it continues to this day. That's what the prosecutors are saying. So R. Kelly in a lot of trouble. R. Kelly's in a lot of trouble. So, and they laid it on thick. He said that it's who the defendant is after alleging that he has sexually assaulted the victim hundreds of times. But as I said, he pled not guilty. So you guys, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. But they said that there is no question that R. Kelly is the person in the videos that they've obtained. And the thing about the difference here is that they've charged people in his inner circle with crimes, and more videotape has been produced, surfaced, more videotape. So these employees or people in his circle say, "Oh, well, you ain't taking me down." They get him in the room. They said, "We don't really want you. We want R. Kelly. What can you give us?" And evidently they've given some things. So they're also claiming that the electronic monitor and home confinement is not enough for R. Kelly. So home monitor is not enough. They wanted more, and saying that he can entice girls to his own doorstep. So they're saying that even if he was put on home monitor, he would still cause trouble if he was on a home monitor. That means that he's sick, right? That means that the producer, the singer, the songwriter, R. Kelly, has some type of an illness, because why would they think that he would still assault girls given the situation being what it is right now, right? But you got to be sick to have said and done some of the things that he said and done. So I don't know if that is even far-fetched. So on the flip side of that, on the flip side of all this R. Kelly stuff, we have the actor Kevin Spacey, right? The actor Kevin Spacey, he had his own situations. He's had numerous allegations, and same thing with R. Kelly. These are allegations. These have been allegations that we have been aware of for many years, but these are allegations nonetheless. So, what has the actor Kevin Spacey, what is his thing? So, yesterday, prosecutors dropped a groping case against Kevin Spacey. He was accused of groping a young man at a resort island bar back in 2016. After the accuser refused to testify about a missing cell phone the defense says contains information supporting the actor's claims of innocence. Of course, Kevin Spacey said, "I didn't do it." Very rarely do people get charged with crimes, especially these celebrity types, and they get on the stand and say, "Yeah, I did it." Very rarely does that happen, right? So Kevin Spacey charged with indecent assault and battery last year. This is the only criminal case that's been brought against the actor since his career took a nosedive. If you remember, he was on the very popular House of Cards series on Netflix, which I like that. I mean, it's really messed up that he's turned out to be such a lowlife. But two-time Oscar winner, was one of the earliest people snagged up in the whole Me Too debacle that swept the entertainment business, if you remember. So the thing with Kevin Spacey, to me, is very similar to R. Kelly's first, accusations back in the early 2000s, right? R. Kelly was rolling in dough. He was rolling in hits. He was in the forefront of things. He had a lot of money. Kevin Spacey has, a decent amount of money. But the thing with R. Kelly is R. Kelly has been fighting charges for years and years and years. And in addition to his lavish lifestyle, I think that fighting these cases has taken a toll on his bank account, thus taking a toll on his power, his ability to evade, right? Kevin Spacey hasn't had to fight a lot of charges. His money has not been significantly impacted over the 15, 20 years like R. Kelly's was, right? There's only one guy, and when R. Kelly just had one girl to deal with, he got through that case, paid off other people to be quiet, not say nothing, and paid off that girl too. But I think that Kevin Spacey is benefiting from the same type of thing. Now, if you look at Bill Cosby, for years and years, Bill Cosby had paid some girls. He was fighting to keep things out of court. That stuff takes a toll on your finances, and I think that it brings things down. If we look at Epstein's been fighting charges for years and years and years, and they claim that he has a lot of money and all that kind of stuff, but he's been fighting these charges for years and years. If he had the kind of money that they claim that he has, why is he in jail right now? Because he's been fighting these charges and his power has been diminished. The impact that he has on the justice system, prosecutors, has been worn down. It's been worn down. And that's why I think that if you look at these major stars with the big money, they've been doing this stuff for years. But when they get on the low side of their career, then they get caught up. because finally the money is starting to run dry. So that's how I look at that. But R. Kelly, it's a sad day for R. Kelly fans. So his lawyer, Steve Greenberg, remember him. We've talked about him over the time that this has been going on. Fired back to defend his client. He says that R. Kelly's already surrendered passport. He said that God doesn't like to fly. He's no flight risk. Very ironic that the author and singer of I Believe I Can Fly actually does not like to fly. That is amazing. That is amazing to me. But I mean, he's an attorney. What is attorney going to say? What is his attorney going to say? So he is in jail. He also says that to his knowledge, R. Kelly did not miss any court dates in his 2008 trial. Speaking of that trial, Greenberg responded to the allegations that the case was rigged, saying that R. Kelly faced a jury of his peers and not a bench trial. It has long been rumored that R. Kelly used his money, power, influence to skate through that mockery of a trial back in 2008 for that videotape from 5 years before that. He also says that R. Kelly has voluntarily shown up to every court hearing in his current case, despite the fact that prosecution insists that he's a flight risk. R. Kelly looks kind of shaky to me. I think he may be more of a risk, danger to himself than anybody else. Also, we found out during the whole fallout from the Surviving R. Kelly documentary that R. Kelly lives in the Trump Tower in Chi-Town. Some people knew that. I did not know that he lived in the Trump Tower. I didn't know. I'm sorry, I didn't know. But lawyer claims that the rent is paid up until December or January. So, R. Kelly's not going to leave before the rent is due. He said, you may accuse him of touching young girls, but he ain't going to leave before his lease is up or before the rent's, whatever. But getting back to Kevin Spacey, sorry. Getting back to Kevin Spacey. I think that a lot of people looking at the obvious differences, white guy, black guy, both in Hollywood. If you look at Weinstein, he hasn't come to trial yet, but he has a lot of money. And this goes back to what I'm saying. He has a lot of money. Now, R. Kelly has been able to avoid the situation he's in right now because of money. That's it. Money and fame. That's it. But now that his money has been compromised, now that he doesn't have the money that he used to have, stuff is falling through the crack. Can't pay people off no more. And then so now you have trouble. So is R. Kelly broke? You might as well say, yeah. You might as well say, yeah, he's broke. Because he can barely take care of any of the things that he used to take care of. They used to keep him free. Kevin Spacey, as I said, he is an actor, right? Kevin Spacey is clearly benefiting from paying off the accusers. Paying off the accusers. And when the accusers don't want to talk, then the prosecutor can't bring the case or choose not to bring the case. And in some instances, the prosecutors are being paid off. But I don't think that that's the case here of Kevin Spacey. So the actor Kevin Spacey, his accuser was ordered to take the stand earlier this month after he said he lost the cell phone that he used the night of the alleged groping. Does that mean that Kevin Spacey's legal team got to him, the accuser, and said, look, you need to lose that cell phone, and we're going to slide you this, and everything's going to be good? The defense said it needed the phone to recover the deleted text message that would help Kevin Spacey's case. It's ironic that they would claim that the one piece of evidence that would, show you that he's not guilty, the one piece of evidence is a piece of evidence that the accuser claims to no longer have. Very strange. It sounds like they worked that thing out. So the man denied deleting messages or manipulating screenshots or anything that he provided to the investigators. So he gave them some stuff, but they wanted the actual phone. Here's my thing. Who cares about the phone? Why not get the phone records? Phone records? No one wants to get phone records? Because this is all a fiasco. Kevin Spacey knows exactly what he's doing. Kevin Spacey pulled the okie doke. And when pressed by the defense about whether he knew that altering evidence is a crime, the accuser invoked his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination, and the judge said that his testimony would be stricken from the record. So once that happened, now Kevin Spacey is like, you know how if you watched House of Cards, sometimes his character would look at the camera like, and start talking to the camera. That was Kevin Spacey's look at the camera moment. When they struck the accuser's testimony from the record, now we don't have no case. The judge questioned how prosecutors would be able to bring Kevin Spacey to trial if the accuser refused to testify. Very similar to what happened to R. Kelly. But you can't put these accusers in a situation if you don't have money. And a lot of it. That's why Kevin Spacey, boom, no problems for him. Well, he's free. I don't know if it's going to be no problems. I don't know if the PR machine can now spin. He can start doing interviews and saying how he's sorry. He went to counseling. This case didn't amount to anything. And maybe he can start getting some roles back again. Maybe he can get something on Hulu because Netflix probably ain't going to rock with him like that. So anyway, yesterday, the Cape and Island District Attorney Michael O'Keefe said in court documents that they were dropping the charges due to an unavailability of the complaining witness. So he ain't trying to say nothing. And why would you not? If you went all the way this far to take something to court, now you're not going to testify. Why wouldn't you do that? You were in fear or you had been compensated. And I'm going with the latter rather than the former. He was compensated. Fine. That's what rich people do. And the mob does it too, but maybe they're rich. All right? So that's what happens in these instances. Just tuning in. It's the Diamond K Show. And we're talking about the differences between R. Kelly and Kevin Spacey. Aside from the obvious differences. Aside from the fact that, R. Kelly is a black man. Kevin Spacey is a white man. Aside from that, they're both famous. They both are public figures. They both are scumbags. Or alleged scumbags. All right, so the prosecutor said in an email statement that they met with the man and his lawyer on Sunday and told him that if he wouldn't testify in further proceedings, they couldn't move forward with the case. The man elected not to waive his right under the Fifth Amendment. Right? So, furthermore, a grant of immunity compromises the witness to a degree which, in a case where the credibility of the witness is paramount, makes the further prosecution untenable. Untenable. So there you have it. The man did not receive a settlement to drop the civil case, his mother said. His lawyers said he dropped it because he was emotionally overwhelmed and wanted only one roller coaster ride at a time. So he chose to focus on the criminal case. But getting back to the thing, it's really weird, because I don't know whether this is going to cause other accusers of Kevin Spacey to try to bring cases about because he beat this case, or maybe they're just going to fall back completely because they're going to think he's untouchable. I don't know. But getting to R. Kelly, I don't think that R. Kelly is going to be able to beat these charges, facing multiple charges. 125 years in Chicago alone. And, that's This is going to be a very, very sad day when we see this whole thing play out. Sad day, why? Why do I say that? Sad. I say it's a sad day because looking at the fall of one of our icons, to me, is sad. It's sad. Now, whether you want to say that it happened because he was assaulted earlier in his life by someone, or grieving over the loss of his mother, whatever it is, you had this guy who grew up poor, who rose to heights. I don't believe that whole illiterate thing or whatever. I just think that was something that they put together. But you going back, if you look somebody who literally rose from nothing to make yourself something, to now become a scandal-ridden entertainer, it's sad. It's sad, and but we're gonna watch it. We're here for it. Of course, you've been listening to the Diamond K Show, RadioOnFire.com. If you're tired of mainstream media misrepresenting the truth, then you need to become a premium subscriber of Radio on Fire. We are the voice of urban America. Your donations and subscriptions help us continue to do what we do. RadioOnFire.com/join is where you go. Also, I have a new single called Pretty Girl, which you can stream everywhere, all the digital outlets, iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, Spotify, etc., etc. So I appreciate you checking that out. Of course, I will be back later on today, and we have a full lineup of shows tonight. So definitely stay tuned. Also, news and stories all throughout the day. RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for listening and joining me. I'll see you guys later.